Hi guys, welcome to YS Khong Driving, and yes, this is it. This is the all-new Hyundai Palisade seen for the first time in Malaysia. Actually, we saw it a few days ago and it was on the trailer just outside here, but here it is and we are here at the media preview. There are two engine types, which is the 2.2 diesel, which has 200 PS and 440 Newton meters of torque, and also a 3.8 liter V6, and this one has 295 PS and 355 Newton meters of torque. Now you have the option of having it as a 7-seater or an 8-seater for both the diesel and the petrol configuration, so that makes 4 variants. Now there's a catch here. The one with all-wheel drive is only available with the 2.2 diesel, whereas the 3.8 liter comes with only front wheel drive. And the other part of the coin is the petrol version has all the Hyundai Smart Sense features, all the ADAS features, yeah, whereas the diesel only has partial. We'll go into detail when we do a full review of the car. Now, this is a very large SUV, almost 5 meters long. So it fights with the likes of the CX-9 and also maybe the BMW X5, at least in terms of size. So what are the dimensions of this very large vehicle? The overall length is 4980 mm and the width is 1975 mm, so it's almost 2 meters wide, and the height is 1.75 meters or 1750 mm. Now the most important thing is the wheelbase, which is the distance between the center of the front and the rear wheels, is 2900. So Hyundai calls this a D segment SUV. Okay, overall the design is very American, and you can see by the size and the engine capacities, this is actually a vehicle that is meant for the American market, and somehow it has ended up here as one of the imports. But of course it is right-hand drive, and the back actually looks quite attractive. So this is one of the ways by which you can tell it's gasoline. That's the 3.8 liter engine, which is shown here. That's the engine capacity, and look at the lights, they're so nice. Elsewhere, the boot is an easy opening boot, and all you have to do is actually stand there for 5 seconds at the back of the car with your key fob in your pocket, and the back door will sound an alarm first before opening. Spare tire is at the bottom there, and it's a full-sized spare. At the front, you get McPherson struts and a large ventilated disc brake system, together with 20-inch wheels, which help to maintain the proportions of the vehicle, and 245/50 series R20 SUV tires. Yes, these are SUV tires. At the rear, you get the same size tires and also ventilated discs. Yes, so at the rear you also get a set of ventilated discs and a smaller caliper, and the rear suspension is a multi-link arrangement. This is the gasoline engine. It's mounted on it's mounted east-west, and this is a 3.8 liter V6. Horsepower is 295 PS and it has 355 Newton meters of torque, which is actually highly respectable. Of course, it's 3.8 liter lah, and I can see here, engine block is aluminum, and you can't see much of it here because there's the engine cover here. Now let's see. Whoops! Yes, you can take it out. Okay, so this is the 3.8 liter engine, and where is the first bank? The first one bank of cylinders is here. The other bank of cylinder is here. So this part is the air intake part, and so engine actually sits pretty low down. Very nice. And here the struts, again you can see the new way of constructing here. This is the strut tower, and this is reinforced material. You can see here it is actually thicker than the rest of the body, and again across the top here you can see the reinforcement. This is actually a tubular reinforcement that goes from one end, attaches one end to the other end in a sort of like a box frame, a box section to make it stronger. So I can tell you this body frame is quite rigid. So you can see from here the wheel, the center of the wheel is actually here, and the engine is mounted just slightly forward of the front wheel, so the overhang is not very much. You can see here is actually quite a short distance between the center of the wheel to the front of the car, and they have done a lot of work here to keep everything low down and easy to service. Now in terms of intake, this is the intake hole, and it's just underneath the top of the bumper. Yeah, this is around almost 4 feet, 3.5 feet above ground level. Then it goes into the airbox and into the intake manifold. So this car will do well in a flash flood in Kuala Lumpur. Okay, elsewhere the bonnet looks like it is aluminum, so they have done the weight saving in the right place. I have no idea what's the weight of the car. Maybe I should get it and tell it to you later. I have no idea what the car weighs now, but I would say that this is a little bit above 2 tons. Okay guys, here's a lesson in colors. This one is the diesel, and what color does it look like to you? And this one is the gasoline version. This is the 3.8, and what color does it look like to you? Okay, to me this one is black, and yes, this is the official color, it's black. And this one is actually blue. Okay guys, this is the front of the Palisade, and these are the LED daytime running lights. Another one is of course on the other side, and so they're symmetrical, and these look pretty good even at night. The LED lights are here, and you have the top two, which are the LED headlights, and the bottom I think is the fog light. The front grille is very Hyundai, but fortunately they have made it nice and big and is proportionate with the rest of the car. This one is the gasoline engine, the 3.8, and it has the front radar. So this one has the full complement of Hyundai Smart Sense. As I said earlier, the Palisade comes in either 7 or 8 seater. So this is the diesel, and this particular one has a 8 seater arrangement, which means 2 in the first row, 3 in the second row, and 3 in the third row. Notice there are 3 headrests, but of course for 3 in the third row is going to be quite tight. I would say to be comfortable, only 2. Yeah, so they have made an 8-seater, which means they actually have the seat belts for 8 people, but for practicality I would say it is 7. Okay, here's looking at the rear seat of the, actually this is the center row of the Palisade, and it's made for 3, and actually it is wide enough for 3 people to sit, but of course if 3 big size people you will have some problem. But even so, it is actually wider than most of the seats that you can find today. And here's some good news. You can actually slide the seat very far forward until there's almost no room. Okay, so the rail slides quite forward, and you can actually vary the leg room for the third row. And also the second row also can recline to quite some angle, which is quite good. See, you can actually relax, so there's plenty of room at the back. And let's see, the Okay, the 60-40 split, both the sides can be slided forward, and also yes, you can recline the seat to this angle, and you can actually relax on a journey should you require to. So let's see from this side. There's a button here, and you can get into the third row from here. Up there you have the sunroof, and also this is the moonroof, which cannot be opened. This second part cannot be opened. Okay, also note that the second row aircon louvers are on the roof. Same with the third row, you can see the aircon louvers up on the roof. There are no blowers at the bottom for the second row, only the controls for the air conditioning. So this is basically a 3-zone air conditioning system, 2 zones in the front and a single zone for the back, and the back aircon louvers are the roof mounted type. Right guys, we're going to check out the rear opening boot. So unlike other cars, this one doesn't need you to put your feet underneath. So as you come near the car with the key fob within 1 meter, you get the alarm sounding and the boot opens for you without you having to do anything. And I ask the question, what happens if you don't want it to open? Well, then don't stand near here. If you start sounding the alarm and you don't want it to open, you just walk away and it won't open. Okay, so I'm staying away for at least 30 seconds, and let's see what happens when I come near. And okay, I'm coming near the car, and by right the alarm should sound. Okay, I don't want it to open. I step away and it doesn't open. Okay, so now I seriously want the door to open. I'm just walking here and there's a warning sound. If I just stay here, the boot will open. Fantastic. Okay, here's another piece of magic with the Palisade. The rear seats can be split and folded down. So to do it is very easy. This is a 60-40. You can either do both sides or one side, and you do it simply by pulling on this little piece of lever and it goes down. So that's flat for one side. You can do the other side by, without having to go to the front, you can just press this button here. There's a little button, left button, and it goes down. So you can have one side open up to carry a long load and still carry 1, 2, 3, 4, or you can also put this one down. First you got to put the headrest down. Yeah, you put this one down and you can still carry 3 people and have wider space at the back here with that part down, or you can press the other button and that side goes down and you have a really flat surface. And on top of that, if you want to, you can take out this tonneau cover and you can put it on the seat. And you can put it up here. And you have a tonneau cover which allows you to hide all your stuff in the back of your boot. And of course you can always take it out and stow it back when you don't use it. At the same time, you can leave the tonneau cover there and put back the rear seats and run it as a 5-seater. Brilliant idea. The interior of the Palisade is really quite luxurious. I would say that it is very well appointed. From the startup graphics to the consoles and to the Dashboard material is all nice and very classy. Infotainment system is Android Auto and Apple CarPlay compliant. These are the aircon controls down there, digital. The gasoline and the diesel versions have got 4 driving modes: Comfort, Eco, Sport and Smart. And of course the 4-wheel drive version has got the extra terrain response systems. There is no gear shift lever, only this set of buttons. Basically you can see on the right there's the P or park button, R for reverse, N for neutral and D for drive. The steering wheel is quite nice and small, leather wrapped, and also you see your audio controls here, and also you have cruise control. This is the console box. This is the center console with 2 layers. There's another layer underneath, a bit dark but it's there, and then you have 2 boxes for you to put your oddments, and inside the front box you get the drink holder, and in the back box you get your power slots. This is the 2.2 liter 4-cylinder diesel engine from the Hyundai Group. It has an uprated power to 200 PS and 440 Newton meters of torque. Now the diesel engine version is all-wheel drive, and of course, as I said earlier, the gasoline engine is only front-wheel drive. Now both the versions have an 8-speed automatic gearbox. Alright, that is the turbocharger for the diesel unit. It's fitted at the rear end of the engine, so that means the engine can be mounted much lower, as the exhaust can go straight down and into the back of the vehicle. Okay guys, that's our preview of the Hyundai Palisade. Hope you liked it, and one day we hope to be able to take this up the mountain to really check out the handling. So till we meet again, bye bye.